Hi, Nick Riley, Bonafide Support Services. So just looking at the business model and your value proposition, it's important to note that when events like COVID-19 happen, things can fundamentally shift in what your customers want. So you just need to check that your product and service are still relieving the pain or giving the customers the gain that they value to choose your business and keep using your products going forward. So last time we looked at the customer segments, and this time we're going to look at the value proposition in just a bit more depth. And as an example, I'm going to use secondary school, privately funded this time as just a model to work through. So nasty stat, 7 out of 10 new products and services dropped. So that's pretty scary stuff. So strategizer.com, I've got this tool, which is linked to the business model map, or in their case, they call it Canvas, which mine was built on. And this is a really good way of thinking through your value proposition. So once again, it's good to really be in the head of that target customer segment. And by the way, you can have more than one proposition for different customers and even for the same customer. So needs, if you take a school example again, they may need a new sports hall, and that's a blatant need because they've raised funds, they want it, they got planning permission, so it's easy for maybe a contractor to see that and pitch for it. Very different need if their existing sports hall is burned down. The value proposition changes because the urgency is the big factor. They're dealing with insurance companies perhaps. Or they may just want it to actually increase the attractiveness of the school to paying students. And then the final option would be actually they're not even aware yet that if they did add a sports hall, it could actually increase the revenue, make them more profitable. So there's lots of different needs and drivers for people to want a new sports hall. Other issues they might come across would be maybe they need a new boiler. It's their existing one's time expired, they can't get the parts anymore, they're worried about it breaking down. Or they've got combustible cladding, or they've got a problem with managing Legionella. It's a minor thing, but no one offers this service. Or they've got a problem with their fire doors. So would they want to deal with different contractors for that? And is that an opportunity for different specialist contractors? Or would they prefer a one-stop shop and an FM service? So again, different problems, different needs, and different people might choose to address it in different ways. So on the canvas, you're looking at pains. What annoys them? What's frustrating them? What are their risks that keep them up at night? And then the gain side of things, more positively, what's their aspiration? What could get them above where they are now and better results than they could have thought about? So that's where this brings it together. So you're looking at what the customer's trying to achieve, maybe on those maintenance jobs or even with a new building. And you're thinking, okay, well, what pains am I solving for them? Is it the risk? Is it the speed? Or what gains am I going to give them? Is it they're actually going to increase their revenue and their profitability or their utilization or something? And then you flip it across to what you do and how it relieves that pain and how it creates the gain magnification for them. The key thing with the canvas, and again taking this helicopter view, you may have a whole raft of things that you think of are dealing with those pains and gains, but people make decisions based on a couple of things. Everything else then comes back to reinforce why that was a good decision for them to make. So in your value proposition, you're really trying to pick on the one or two big things that your target customer for that pain or gain is really going to hammer it home for them and seal the deal and create real value. So just taking that example, so say you've got a boiler that's not working anymore and you're worried about it breaking down, you're not going to have heat. An offer might be that solves that pain and that risk is to pay for what you use, so a managed service in there. So that's taking away the risk of that capital cost for money you mightn't have. The feature is then that you got a fixed price for the cash. But the longer term piece is there's no risk of being without the heat and hot water, which would obviously be pupils going home, and that's just unacceptable. And to achieve that, the feature would be the service level agreement. You may have some other things going on. There's lots of different ideas about issues that would address pains and gains, but they're peripheral. The big things are eliminating the fear of the big capex and not having the risk of the heating and boiling being down in this hypothetical example. So that plugs in to the value proposition canvas, and then you're moving on to how you promote it, how you manage it, and then what you actually have to do to achieve it. So hopefully that has been useful to you. If you have any queries around this or any other aspect of the business model or business planning, please do get in touch. Otherwise, watch out for the next one and the final one in the series, and keep safe in the meantime.